chandelier, and a balcony. All actually a billionaire, this hasn't stopped her spending like one. Just take a look at the $325,000 mini mansion she had built for her beloved pet chihuahuas. The two-story villa is located in the grounds of Hilton's Los Angeles home, and at 300 square feet, it's big enough for a fully grown human to fit inside comfortably. Sadly, I doubt the dogs appreciate the design detail that went into this luxury pad. The walls are painted Barbie pink, and the custom leather furniture was created by French designer Philippe Starck. The mansion also boasts air conditioning, a sweeping staircase, a chandelier, and a balcony, all of which puts a positive spin on being in the doghouse. And while we're on the topic of pampered pups, take a look at the most expensive dog collar in the world sold by company I Love Dogs. This blingy piece of dog jewelry is handmade and bedazzled with 1,600 diamonds. The catch? It'll set you back a cool $3.2 million ownership of a diamond-encrusted Mercedes-Benz. If you say so, Your Majesty. Next up, check out this vintage ride owned by Elon Musk. The billionaire Tesla CEO spent nearly $1 million on this Lotus Esprit, which was featured in the 1976 Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me. Musk bought the car from a Long Island couple who found it in a locked storage unit in 1989. They paid just $100 for the car and were stunned to sell it to the world's richest man for a huge profit. But there's a twist. Elon has modified the car with 4 battery-powered propellers, allowing it to run underwater and double as a submarine. It's unclear whether Elon actually drives the car underwater, but he's reportedly using it as inspiration for a brand new subaquatic Tesla. But we can't talk about cars without mentioning the Sultan of Brunen, who owns the largest private car collection in the world. He's estimated to own about 7,000 cars, including 300 Ferraris and 600 Rolls-Royces, with a combined value of more than $5 billion. That means that even if the Sultan decided to drive a new car every single day, it would still take him more than 19 years to try every car in his collection. However, collectors who visited in recent years have reported that many of the cars have never been driven, with leather melting in the sun and seats covered in mold. It's almost as if 7,000 cars is too much for one man. Whoa! Skyscraper for one. Imagine being so rich you could have a 27-story skyscraper all to yourself. One billionaire, Mukesh Ambani, is living that dream. His Mumbai home, known as the Antilia Building, is the most expensive private house in the world. The gigantic building is located on a street known as Billionaires Row, famous for its ultra-luxury mansions. Inside, you'll find space for 168 cars, a temple, 3 helipads, and a 50-seater cinema. There's even a fully stocked ice cream parlor for when the Mumbai heat gets too much. Unsurprisingly, the idea of an entire 400,000 square foot skyscraper belonging to one wealthy family doesn't sit well with many people. After all, Ambani could have spent his billions providing relief to Mumbai's poor, rather than squandering money on an oversized mansion. It probably doesn't help that in order to clear space for his futuristic pad, Mukesh had to buy the land from an orphanage, which he then had knocked down. Yeah, not exactly helping the evil billionaire stereotype there, Mukesh. Pot of gold. In 2001, Hong Kong jewelry magnate Lam Sai-wing earned himself a Guinness World Record by building the world's most expensive bathroom. The unusual project cost Sai-wing a breathtaking $3.5 million to build, featuring 380 kilograms of 24-karat gold and 6,200 precious gemstones. Today, tourists can visit the bathroom, which is on display at Sai-wing's Hong Kong store. But however much you may need to go, a fully functional solid gold toilet is off limits. Perhaps inspired by Lam's creation, Italian artist Maurizio Catalan made this 18-karat gold artwork in 2016, which he named America. In 2019, the Fancy John, worth over $5 million, was stolen from the Blenheim Palace in the UK, where it had been plumbed into the wall as a quirky exhibition piece. A $124,000 reward was offered for its safe return, but it was never seen again. I guess there can only be one golden throne. Toilets aren't the only way to incorporate a touch of luxury into your bathroom. In 2013, Australian company Toilet Paper Man revealed an unusual new product. A single roll of 22-karat gold toilet paper on sale for $1.3 million. The paper is now listed as sold out, suggesting that one eccentric billionaire may have decided to flush their money down the drain. But that's not where the madness stops. If you'd like the contents of your toilet paper bowl to match your solid gold toilet paper, you can shell out $425 for 24-karat gold poop pills.
Fuck
These
that.
2-centimeter-long capsules were created by artists
We are rich, but me and my, you know what I mean.
In Tobias's words, they will turn your innermost parts into chambers of wealth.
Me and my mom and dad and 2 sisters are rich, but we buy normal stuff.
Cold, hard cash. Would you spend
What, normal?
$100 on ice?
Nah.
And no, I don't mean diamonds. I
Fuck
mean
that.
actual
It's just a waste of money, dog.
Strange sound, there's a booming market for luxury ice, with the super wealthy willing to spend $325 on a
What?
case
Fuck
of
that.
cubes.
Nah.
That's a chilling $8
I would
per
just
cube.
use
According
normal
to
ice.
brand Glace Luxury Ice Co., their product is made from specially purified water that's free of minerals, additives, and pollutants. Each piece of ice is
Fuck that,
individually
dog.
carved into a sphere or a
What?
cube and
Fuck.
comes packaged in a resealable pouch.
Some rich
They're
people
certainly
are-
pretty to look at, but to me, it seems like a great way to watch your money literally melt
Some
away.
rich people are dickheads.
Guinea pig armor. Back in
They
June
just want to show
2013,
off.
a very
Well,
strange
we
item was listed for sale on
drive
eBay.
normal cars. Not fancy cars. Normal cars. We don't want to show off our wealth. So, yeah, that's why we live in this house. Not a mansion, me and my mom and my dad. Well, not my dad anymore. My dad is divorced, but you get me. That's why we live in, you know, not a mansion.
Feast your eyes on this. A cute little suit of handmade chainmail and a battle helmet designed to fit
Oh,
any medium-sized guinea pig. Perfect for carrot jousting, I guess. Now, personally, I don't consider guinea pig armor a must-have. But the mega rich must disagree, because the listing received 156
Dickheads, they
bids
are.
from 47
Some
bidders
rich people
in
are
10 days,
dickheads.
and ultimately sold for a breathtaking $24,300. Although the winning bidder chose to remain anonymous, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they must have been pretty well off. Is that you, Bill Gates? Designer trash. Can you imagine being so rich that you can afford to spend a fortune on your trash? In 2018, Kim Kardashian made waves when she posted a snap of her trash cans on Instagram, revealing that they're branded all over with the Louis Vuitton logo. While they were likely just custom painted and not officially branded, Kim's not the only person who's splashed their cash on Louis Vuitton-themed trash. This photo of a branded bin bag has been doing the rounds on the internet, and while that bag appears to be another custom job, these ones are real. This finds to look like a garbage bag, and will set you back a whopping $1,960. Sometimes fashion really is trashy. Something fishy. Personally, I'd pay money not to have a shark in my home. But billionaire hedge fund manager Stephen Cohen evidently disagrees, because he spent $8 million on a dead tiger shark suspended in a tank of formaldehyde. This unusual piece of interior decor is actually an iconic 1991 artwork by British artist Damien Hirst, and goes by the charming name of the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living. Make what you will of the name, but here's a little secret about Cohen's purchase. It's not actually the same shark that Hearst made famous back in the 90s. By the time Cohen bought the artwork, it was 13 years old, and the original shark had begun to decay. So on top of the purchase price, Cohen paid for a brand new
You know how
shark to be caught
I
and
wish
stuffed,
to be
a
pregnant?
process which cost more than $100,000.
Yeah, that's right.
Why can't billionaires just be
Yeah,
satisfied
our
with
baby
goldfish?
didn't make it.
Hashtag blessed.
Ooh, good.
Madonna may
I
not
know.
quite be a billionaire, but trust me, her spending habits are extravagant enough to land her a place in
Ooh,
this video.
just try
Don't
again,
believe me?
baby.
Well, did
Yep.
you know that she reportedly spends $10,000 a month on water? Yeah, the stuff that comes out of taps for free. The singer is a devout follower of Kabbalah, a mystical offshoot of Judaism that boasts a number of super rich devotees, including Lindsay Lohan and Mick Jagger. As a result, she will only drink bottled water that's received a Kabbalah blessing, which many followers believe enriches it with the power to cure disease and even neutralize nuclear waste. Needless to say, there's no evidence to back up these claims. In fact, a 2012 BBC documentary revealed that some
That can't
sellers
be
of Kabbalah
true.
water were actually charging extortionate prices for plain tap water, cashing in on the gullibility of the rich and famous. This wasn't enough to stop Madonna, though. Not satisfied with merely drinking the Kabbalah water for $5 a bottle, Madonna's friends report that she also fills her radiators and swimming pools with the stuff. Talk about liquid assets.
Disgusting.
Island extravagance.
Some of these
We all
people
want to
are
make a mark
dumb.
on the world, but some billionaires
And
take that idea a
disgusting.
little too literally. Take
What
Sheikh Hamad bin
fuck?
Hamdan Al Nahyan, a member of Abu Dhabi's ruling family. In the early 2000s, he came up with the unusual idea of carving his own name into the surface of Al Butaisi, an island he owns off a series of canals which would spell out Hamad in letters that were 1,600 feet long and 144 feet wide, large enough to be spotted on Google Earth satellite
Let's have another
image.
drawing.
But unfortunately, in 2012, the letters were filled in with sand with no explanation, rendering the whole project a short-lived waste of time. Maybe Hamad realized he'd made a mistake? Not all billionaire private island owners need to label their land in big letters, though. Most times, merely spending time there brings enough satisfaction. And what better way to get to and from your personal paradise than in an incredibly souped-up yacht? The master of this kind of thing is super wealthy businessman Roman Abramovich, who owns not one, but 2 super yachts. The $600 million Solaris is 460 feet in length and boasts 8 decks, a helipad, a sauna, and anti-paparazzi lasers. Her sister ship Eclipse is even bigger, coming in at 530 feet and valued at a stunning $500 million. It's hard to imagine why anyone would need 2 enormous yachts, but I guess buying stuff you don't need is part of the fun of being a billionaire. Winging it. You've probably heard of billionaires who drop millions on exotic pets, but did you know that China's uber-rich shell out huge sums on pedigree pigeons? Yup, it turns out pigeon racing is a big business in China. The ancient sport involves releasing specially trained homing pigeons into the air and then placing bets on which bird will be the first to return home. In the interests of securing a win, breeders sell fast flying that all billionaires are bloodsuckers. But it's true that some super wealthy vampires, tech moguls, are willing to splash their cash on a dystopian procedure called a young blood transfusion. This involves injecting wealthy clients with the blood of 16 through 25-year-olds, which is thankfully harvested willingly, and allegedly increases the regenerative abilities and general functions of older people's bodily cells. A US-based startup called Ambrosia was founded around this idea in 2006 and began offering transfusions for $8,000 a pop. PayPal billionaire Peter Thiel made headlines in 2016 when he expressed interest in trying out Ambrosia's work. But is it legit? Well, unsurprisingly, the practice has received a lot of criticism and has been widely labeled as pseudoscience. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, for instance, issued a warning about the transfusions, claiming that they have no proven scientific benefits. They also point out that the procedure could risk spreading blood-borne diseases and could even overload the circulatory system, causing swelling and breathing difficulties. So, even if you are insanely rich, probably best to give this blood-curdling procedure a miss. Go buy a golden toilet or something instead. What's the most expensive, useless thing you've ever bought? Let me know.
Living Cube. designers offer a wide variety of ways to furnish your living space. The most notable of them are those that look attractive and use the entire space very effectively at the same time. For example, the living cube. There are all kinds of drawers and shelves on the side. Here you can place books, music records, a player, a TV, and even some clothes. At the end of the living cube there is a ladder too. There's also a door that lets you inside the structure. This small room in this case is used as a storage room. The manufacturer claims that the design is variable, so that inside the living cube there may be a dressing room or a bathroom. Finally, we'll tell you about the upper surface of the structure. Here you can arrange a lounge area or place something, or as shown in the video, arrange a place to sleep.
What the fuck happened?
Parasot Space Up. The first space-saving solution we've shown today will only fit in a large, high-ceilinged room. The bed from the French company Parasot is much more modest in size. However, it can also give its owner a lot of storage space. First of all, pay attention to the sides of the bed. They are equipped with shelves. Thanks to the optimal size, books, care products, and much more will fit inside. However, a lot of beds have a similar design. The Space Up model from Parasot has a unique feature that makes it different from the competitors' models. The mattress tilts back, and under it there's 2.3 cubic meters of space for storage. The space is equipped with drawers. It's even possible to store large size objects, such as suitcases and sports equipment. It's noteworthy that the hinged mechanism has been carefully designed. Thanks to this, when the bed is open, there's enough space inside for a person to enter. Thus, Space Up is 3 pieces of furniture in one: a bed, a night table, and a closet. Slumber shelves. People who live in small one-room apartments often face a catastrophic lack of free space. Singaporean company Spaceman offers a solution to the problem. This is a unit that combines 2 pieces of furniture, indispensable for any modern home. It's a TV unit, which in a few seconds with a simple movement, transforms into a double bed. Notice that there are quite fragile items on the shelves, such as vases and glasses. They are not in danger though. Although the unit's equipped with a rotating part, all shelves designed to store things don't change their position in space. Thanks to this, even if the contents are expensive, you don't have to worry about them. When you buy this bed, you can stop thinking about zoning the space, or the fact that a one-room apartment can't accommodate both a living room and a bedroom. Carly Duo Sofa. This is a sofa transformer from Resource Furniture. When folded, it's no different from any 2-seater sofa. However, if desired, the construction can take the form of a bunk bed. What looks like part of the wall is actually another folding bed. Please note that it's equipped with soft edges to protect the person sleeping on it. The topmost part of the structure is a shelf. Smart kitchen. The place where people spend most of their time at home should be as comfortable and functional as possible. We are talking, of course, about the kitchen. Here is an amazing set created by specialists from the Italian company Filigrano already. Literally every meter of this space has a huge number of advantages and features. Use the remote control to open the drawers. The corners, the most useless space in terms of space organization, are fully exploited. The outer panels can be removed, which makes cleaning much easier. The refrigerator drawers look just like any other. They are right under the worktop so that food can be taken out and put away faster. The drawers have already integrated separators, making it easy to organise kitchen appliances too. The design is modern and technologically advanced, so there are places for wireless charging as well. Smart living. At first glance, it may seem that the design of this furniture from Ozio Design is similar to the design that we've already shown you. The area where the TV is located has been improved to perform 2 functions instead of 1. But Smart Living allows you to use the extra space in a different way. This furniture is designed for homes that have enough space for a separate bedroom, but not enough for a full dining room. The panel to which the TV is attached can be moved. Behind it, there are hooks with folding chairs hanging onto them. In the lower part of the construction, there's a folding table hidden. In a matter of seconds, the room transforms completely. Here it is, ready to receive guests or for a nice family dinner. Of course, you can also put something else on the shelves. For example, things that you can't put anywhere else. Breaking the box. All the furniture that you see on the screen was created by a designer and artist from Chile, named Sebastian Errázuriz. From the end of January to the beginning of March this year, it was shown as an exhibition in New York called Breaking the Box. These are sculptures rather than furniture, thanks to the ingenious way that they were created. What looks like decoration for a room is actually a functional locker for storing small items. The giant, at first glance, cabinet in its folded state practically doesn't take up any space. At the same time, thanks to a well thought out design, it fits as many as 10 drawers. And this piece of furniture would fit perfectly into a narrow room, where there is no way to move the drawers. The components of the cabinet are attached one to the other. It opens when the person performs a rotational movement. Finally, pay attention to this construction, which is a decorative element, but at the same time serves as a shelf. Ori Pocket Closet. Perhaps every modern person dreams of having their own dressing room. Unfortunately, very often you have to give up on your dreams. There's simply no extra room, or the bedroom fits only a bed and a standard wardrobe. Ori Living is a company engaged in the development of transforming furniture. In November last year, its specialist showed a fundamentally new design. It will allow to arrange a dressing room in almost any standard bedroom. In the folded state, the Ori Pocket Closet does not occupy much space. The other unfolds, turning it into a compact but functional desk. If you press the button, the parts of the construction start to move apart.
So what's now? What should I fucking watch now, dog?
Redditor River Acre, who said they're starting us off with number 10 is the choking. This one's from Redditor River Acre, who said he had this dream or sleep paralysis event when he was in college. When his eyes opened, the room was in complete darkness except the small bit of light coming from under the door from the hallway. He was finding it really hard to breathe for some reason, and then his heart sank as he heard someone breathing really heavily near him, and then he realized someone was staring at him from the corner of the room. Now initially he thought it was his roommate, so he was like, what the hell, how is he even awake right now? He tried to keep his own breathing steady as this other breathing he could hear got louder and closer. Now the figure in the corner started laughing hysterically in a demonic, distorted kind of fashion. The user tried to scream or yell, but he just had no voice. He couldn't move, couldn't speak. It was just a common case of sleep paralysis, really. As he continues staring at the figure in the corner, he sees it jump onto his roommate who's in his own bed and tear him limb from limb. He couldn't even look away. He was just fixated on his roommate being shredded to pieces, and all he could hear was him choking on his own blood as the figure started eating him. Imagine hearing your best friend choking on their own blood and all you can do is watch. The user tried to jolt himself awake properly or throw himself off his bed, but he just couldn't do it. When the figure was done eating his friend, he made his way to the user with his bloody, bony fingers. The figure started licking his cheek as he screamed obscenities into his ear, and then he woke up properly. Or he got eaten. It's a 50-50. Coming in at number 9 are the Dementors. Now this one honestly made me feel a type of way. Like I needed a minute just to process this one afterwards. Shared by an anonymous Reddit user, she said she had a dream where she was asleep within her dream. Like she was trying to fall asleep in her dream, and as soon as she started dozing off, she started hearing a faint whispering all around her. She assumed her parents were talking in their bedroom or something, but then realized she could feel the breath of these whispers on her face. Hence, they were coming from inside her room. She opened her eyes and saw these black floating figures which could only be described as the Dementors from Harry Potter, honestly. They were whispering the word death while floating around her, except they all had faces of people she loved. Friends, siblings, even her own parents. One by one, the Dementors rose above her and started piercing her with this large fang or tooth. And as they did, they would let out the most high-pitched scream before fading into the fang and into the girl's body. And every time they did it, it was this excruciating pain that she just couldn't describe. Even in the dream, it felt all too real. Now, after 5 Dementor creatures did this, she thought she literally couldn't take it anymore and was about to die, and then she finally woke up. At number 8, we have the Smile. Now, this one's from an anonymous person who said one night they were suffering from sleep paralysis and they woke up feeling really off. They couldn't move, but it wasn't that was getting to them. It was just this feeling exists like they didn't even exist. They looked towards their bedroom door and saw the 7 feet tall figure just standing there. The person wasn't ghostly looking or hollow or anything, it was just a normal person. Now the user remembered every single detail of what the person was wearing. Black Doc Marten boots, blue jeans, a puffy jacket, which just didn't make sense since it was summer and hot as hell. But the creepiest part was the person couldn't see the man's face at all. No matter how hard they concentrated, they just couldn't see his face. But then they realized it was because he had no face. It was just featureless. There was a dark void where his face should have been, and they both just stared at each other for a minute before the figure took a step forward and the person just fainted. Complete KO. I don't even understand how they knew they were staring because they didn't have eyes. But anyway, they didn't wake up for another 6 hours, and mind you, they had had a full night's sleep when they saw the figure, so they didn't just go back to sleep, they full on passed out. Filling our number 7 slot is The Exorcism of Reacher. So this one's from Suavda Tripathy, who said she has a bit of a hyperactive imagination, and this dream happened shortly after she watched the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose. One night she dreamed her and her friend Reacher were walking towards a building to go to its roof. Reacher starts going up the steps and her body starts twitching weirdly, and Suvadra asks her what's up, and Reacher just starts running up the stairs and Suvadra just can't keep up. When she finally gets to the top, Reacher has her back to her and she calls out to her. Reacher turns around, suddenly very pregnant and helpless. Before Suvadra could say anything to her, Reacher's body suddenly jerked and she started bending backwards just like Emily does in the film, and if you haven't seen it, consider yourself lucky. Reacher was screaming as she was bending and she was trying to reach out and grab Suvadra, but she just couldn't reach. She started shouting for Suvadra to help her, but it wasn't her voice. It was some deep, evil, distorted voice, and now her face was contorted and savage as well. So she was a mix of pure evil and helplessness. As Suvadra finally reached her, Reacher's back went fully backwards, basically piercing her pregnant belly with her spine. She then somehow moved while in that position and then jumped off the roof of the building. Suvadra screamed and ran to the edge, but then woke up in bed screaming in real life. She was sweating buckets and hyperventilating, and after that, she felt she should just hold off on scary movies. Honestly, I cried while watching that movie, and then I didn't watch another horror movie for like 3 years. So I get it, Subhadra. I get it. That movie, no. Now, at number 6 is The Devil Within. I feel like sometimes we dream of ourselves doing we would never do in real life. Like sometimes when I'm dreaming, I know I'm dreaming, so I'm just like, hey, let's just enjoy the ride, see what I get up to. But other people, I mean, they have different things in mind. And this one comes from Redditor Cozy138, who said he dreamed he had run away from home and was walking through dunes of snow that were 5 feet high. The user hid behind one of these snowbanks as he looked back at his family and saw they were all smiling around a fire, all happy, clearly not caring about the fact he had just run away. He then ran towards a bunch of shops in this plaza area and saw a grill that had a wire brush next to it to clean it. At this point, it was midnight and he saw his little brother come out of one of the stores, so he suddenly decided to take the wire brush and beat him with it. He kept beating him till bits of the wire started tearing his brother's skin off, and he just kept doing it till a huge chunk of the middle of his face was straight up gone. He then used the wire to choke him to the point they both fell on the ground, and the user was just crying while strangling his brother with this wire. When he finally died, and wow, he sure took a freaking beating before he did, the user woke up and was just like, what the hell? Guys, trust no one, not even yourself, clearly. Coming in at number 5 is The Clown. Now this one came from Hannah Toda, who